Hi folks, my name is Allie D'Andrea. Welcome back to another episode of Source to Smoke. Today is a beautiful day. I am making pasta al forno with venison that I harvested here in Pennsylvania. This recipe is so delicious and I love the smoky flavor that the Oklahoma Joe's Grill brings to this recipe. So let's jump right into it. The charcoal is lighting right now. I have this damper all the way open. I have the lid open and that top damper is also open for when I close it down. I do want this to get hot. I'll let this charcoal light with the lid open, both dampers open for about 20 minutes or so, and then I'll close the lid down and I can adjust the dampers from there to achieve the temperature that we want. And we're aiming somewhere around 325, 350. I really can't get over how beautiful it is outside today. It is incredible. This time last year, we had over a foot of snow on the ground, and this year it's in the 60s. It is wild. This is venison from a whitetail doe that I harvested here in Pennsylvania just a few weeks ago. So I pulled this out of the freezer last night, put it in the refrigerator. It is still pretty cold to the touch. It's almost completely defrosted. I have pre-cut these into chunks, which makes it really easy to go right into the grinder. I've kept all of the parts of my grinder in the freezer overnight so that things are super cold. Whenever your grinder and the meat is cold, it will fly right through. If you've ever tried to grind meat that's really warm, things can start to get gunky. It'll cause a big mess. You'll get very frustrated. So make sure everything is icy cold. So let's put this together and grind this meat, shall we? I took about half of the ground meat and set it aside in the refrigerator. So I'm left with about 1.5 pounds of ground venison. Now it's time to season it. So to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground fennel seeds, a teaspoon of kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, half a teaspoon of dry basil, half a teaspoon of dry oregano, and 1 tablespoon of white wine. I just fed Abby girl. You might be able to hear her crunching in the background. I have a big old cast iron pan. We are going to get things started in here before taking it out to the grill. The grill's gonna add all the smoky magic. So first things first, take your cast iron pan, put it on the stove, and crank it up to a medium-high heat. We wanna get this pan hot. I'm adding this venison to the pan in little chunks. You wanna try and spread it out so that it has a lot of surface area to get nice and brown. I'm browning this meat in batches so that I get a good sear on it. So first batch is nice and browned. Just gonna set this aside. I'll add a little bit more oil and then start again. In the meantime, I'm also going to get my water going for the pasta. I'm adding a bunch of kosher salt. Like when I say a bunch, probably 2 tablespoons. You wanna add enough salt that when you taste the water, it tastes like you're drinking ocean water. Super, super salty. The reason why we do that is because as the pasta is cooking in the water, it is going to bring in some of that salt. So the pasta will be seasoned just by it boiling in the water. Oh, it burns. Oh, it burns. Oh, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. You'll notice the brown bits that are created from searing that venison. You want to keep the same pan because all of those brown bits are holding a lot of flavor. So first we're going to add in our onion and we're going to cook that down until it's translucent. Now adding in our garlic and red pepper. We'll cook these down for just about a minute or 2. And you gotta be really careful with the garlic. Garlic burns pretty easily, so keep an eye on it. Make sure to move it around and don't let it burn. Oh. I'm adding in my diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, and tomato paste. Then I'm adding in some spices, some dried oregano and dried basil, about half a teaspoon each. I'll bring all of that to a boil and then immediately reduce it to a simmer. Time to add our rigatoni to the boiling water. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then I'm also going to season it with a little bit of salt. You only want to cook the pasta until it is al dente, so still a little hard, not completely soft. We're going to add that right into our pot, and then we're also going to add in the venison. Get it all in there, give it a good stir. The thing that I love about rigatoni is how wide the hole is in the center of the pasta because it just takes in all of the sauce, all of the yummy goodness. So with every bite, you get a really saucy, delicious noodle, and I love that. This is mozzarella cheese that I grated fresh, and I'm just adding an even layer on top of everything before throwing this on the grill. Yeehaw! Okay, we have just hit a little over 350, but once I open the grill up, it's going to lose a little bit of that heat. I've already spread out the charcoal. We want a very even cook. It's time to get it on the grill. Temperature is right around 350. We're going to allow this to cook for about 20 minutes. We want the cheese to completely melt, start to get a little bubbly. We want everything to kind of bake into each other, all of the flavors to melt. Of course, we want the smoky flavor. Very excited. I'm very hungry today. Okay, let's see how she's cooking. Oh boy. Oh boy, it looks good. I'm going to give this a little bit of a turn. Just want to make sure that everything's cooking evenly, and because I'm at a little bit of a slope, turning the pan will help. Woo! I love this little grill. This is the Rambler. It's portable, so obviously you could take it with you, cook with it anywhere, and I love the size because it's just big enough, yet still small enough to be super portable. So this thing is super convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off the grill, let it cool down a little bit, and then dig in. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh boy. Okay, next one. Oh my goodness. If I take a bite of this right now, I will burn my tongue and it will be burnt for a week straight. So I'm really trying to resist the urge and allow it to cool down. But I can tell you, the smell is amazing. Like, it smelled great inside, but the smell that was coming off this grill, oh boy, oh boy. One thing that I would add, if I had it here, would be some fresh parsley on top and some freshly grated Parmesan. That would be a lovely addition. But today, this is what we're working with. Cheers. Oh boy. So good. Yep. It is everything that you would imagine and more. It is so fabulous. I come from an Italian family, so pasta is like a comfort food amongst my family. It's just simple and easy, and I really love taking advantage of the beautiful weather and getting to be outside and cook. There's something about cooking outside that just makes everything better. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more episodes of Source to Smoke, you can head to Oklahoma Joe's YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.